I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like I've been seeing a recent trend of people being bothered and tired of YouTube. And I can understand that for stuff that maybe you can't control. For example, I don't know if y'all noticed, but they recently turned the like button into a heart. For what? Why? I feel like there are more pressing matters to be talking about than changing the like button. I liked the like button. It was fine. Why are we making it a heart now? So yes, as much as I can understand that YouTube can get some people pissed off, one of the biggest reasons, or at least one of the biggest complaints that I've been seeing people talk about in comment sections, especially when it comes to YouTube, is how there's nothing good on YouTube anymore, apparently. All the content on YouTube is the same. There's nothing new. There's nothing invigorating enough for me to watch. When in that case, it's like, I mean, it's probably just because you're not curating your feed well enough, and if you are, you're not exploring well enough. You're just not regulating your usage of it. That part I feel like is entirely under our control. Yet there are constant discussions that I see of people being like YouTube is just going down the gutter because all the content's the same. All the big creators make all the same type of content. They're not interesting enough for me. Like recently people have talking about how all video essays or commentary videos are very similar and stuff like that. They talk about the same stuff, in which I'm not talking about Doothy in this. I'm not talking about the Doothy drama. I don't care to bring that up right now. I've had this thought way before that whole thing happened, so let's not bring her up, okay? I'm not trying to talk about her today, but all the reaction channels are the same. YouTube has a Mr. Beastified style. That's something a lot of people have been talking about too. And again, I'm not saying some of these criticisms are not valid. And yes, also YouTube has changed over a long period of time. And yes, there are certain aspects of it that can be infuriating to work with. But to say that the whole app is trash and you don't want to use it anymore because there's nothing good on it, that seems a little extreme to me. You just aren't being intentional with your choices of what you want to see on the platform. You're relying on the algorithm to do the work for you. And the algorithm is just doing its job. It's giving you stuff that you watched before, or it's giving you stuff that's popular. That's what it's supposed to do, technically. I think we as people, when it comes to internet usage of all types of social media apps, we've gotten so used to the machine doing the work for us that we forget that sometimes we have to intervene and do the work ourselves. I mean, and I can't blame people for thinking that way, because that's the whole point of it in the first place. The whole point of having an algorithm that curates your feed is so that you don't have to do any work. Things just come to your front page that the algorithm thinks you'll like. It's supposed to make your job easier, so I get that. But I feel like with this complaint, it's something that is entirely fixable and very easily fixable at that. You just have to regulate your usage. So let's start with the first claim, right? All videos on YouTube are the same now. I feel like they all fall into the same category. They all talk about the same stuff. It's just so boring. Everything's bland and boring, and no one's talking about anything unique or different or new. Yeah, that's the point of a genre. It's supposed to be similar. Let's just get something out of the way, because this is one of the things that kind of irk me whenever people talking about this is all the same. When people complain about things being the same, they're just complaining about something because they don't like it, and therefore when there's more of it, you just don't like the whole of it. Like that's obviously common sense saying that out loud, but I'm saying that because things that you enjoy oftentimes are similar. If you think about the music that you like to listen to, the movies that you watch, even the food that you eat on a daily basis, they all tend to fit in some general category of similarities. And there's a reason for that, because we like things that are similar. That's just how the brain works in general. We like similarity. We like patterns. We like grouping things. We like putting things into neat little boxes and categories. So if you like a certain genre of rock music, you're most likely listening to the same or similar types of rock music, and you're not complaining about it because you enjoy it. But sometimes it does happen. Sometimes you get tired of the same old music you listen to. Sometimes you get tired of the same old food that you eat. That's okay, but that's not an objective issue. That's a you issue. Like, for example, because I'm in the video essay, commentary, whatever the heck you want to call me at this point, space, a lot of people recently have been talking about how they don't like commentary creators or video essay creators. They don't like how all the creators seem to be the same. They talk about the same topics. They have the same editing style. They have the same thumbnail format. They talk very similar. They have similar mannerisms, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's fine. That's a fair critique. That's okay if you don't like the way that video essayists make their videos and stuff. That's perfectly fine. What gets me though is that whenever I see people do this, right, and you'll have a string of comments responding to that comment and being like, yes, I feel the same way. That's why I only watch these YouTubers. And they list off YouTubers that all have a very similar style of content. I'm just saying, like, people will list off a group of people, but they still have a specific style and genre that you clearly like. So the complaint about all video essayists are the same and they talk about the same stuff, meanwhile you list off YouTubers that talk about the same stuff. They aren't revolutionizing anything, and they never claim to be. They're just bringing their opinion into a conversation that multiple of other people have had, because that's how we actually have productive conversations. We revisit the same topics over and over again. We hear them from different people, because sometimes they'll throw in different arguments or counter arguments, or they'll throw in different points that you didn't think about. So that repetitiveness is not bad, because the only way to fully understand what a conversation fully encompasses is if you keep revisiting it. This obsession with individuality and originalness and uniqueness is getting to a point where you're trying to look for something that doesn't exist. You're not going to find a YouTuber on here that makes purely original content that you have never seen before. Somebody has done it before. They are going to be similar no matter what way you put it. So it's just how quickly you'll get tired of whatever it is that you're enjoying and what you can do to change that. But the entirety of YouTube doesn't just have anything interesting just because your feed and your algorithm is pushing you videos that get popular. It could be, and I'm not saying it is, but this could be a really interesting testament to how comfortable we've gotten with convenience, because everything is made for convenience, obviously, at this point. A lot of the technology that we create is meant to make things easier. And that isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just the way that we as individuals utilize it and regulate it, as well as it's regulated on a more systemic scale. That's when we can start to actually reap the benefits and not so much of the downside. Because if we rely too much on it, then we end up not knowing or not being able to do it ourselves. So we don't need to throw the whole platform away, but we just need to regulate our usage of it. We need to regulate how we curate our feeds and our content. Instead of being so used to and comfortable of the feed giving us stuff, we have to kind of go out of our way to find content that we might like. There are things that you can do to intervene, which is kind of what I was trying to explain in my analog video that I made like a while back. But of course, as per usual, people misunderstood the intention, thinking that I'm saying that technology can do no wrong and technology is doing exactly what we're supposed to do. We're the problem and this can only be good for us. I was trying to explain the paradox of humanity, that the technological advances that we create was meant to help and grow humanity. But as a result, it also ended up weakening a lot of our cognitive abilities, mainly because we've just gotten too reliant. So if we see we're too reliant, we just need to very slowly push back on that reliance rather than throwing everything away. Me personally, I don't think everyone dropping and throwing their smartphones in the ocean and going back to dumb phones is realistic. I don't think that's a realistic goal. If you can do it, that's fine. But most people cannot do it for several reasons. So instead, regulating your usage of maybe certain apps or how much you rely on your devices in order to do certain things, that can be a little bit more of a realistic goal to help gain some of that independence back without having to feel like you put your entire life in the phone. It's all about regulation at the end of the day. And yes, it's not only individual regulation. Like I said, at a systemic level, this should also be regulated, which it is not. But anyways, that's a conversation for another day. But I'm saying it's the same deal with YouTube. It's very similar. A lot of people just want to quit YouTube. There's several people where I said, I'm just not going to watch YouTube anymore. YouTube has gone down the gutter. They're just going to throw the whole app away when realistically, you could just regulate how you use it. Going back to video essays, because again, that is my space here, I frequently see in the comments and also just other discussions about how YouTube videos do not satiate a certain desire for knowledge or for some information that people are looking for. Again, this is not about Doothy. I've had all these thoughts before the whole drama with her came up about. I'm not trying to throw her under the bus or talk about her right now. This isn't about her. I'm just saying in the general grand scheme of things, because there's a lot of people who feel this way. It's not just her. I don't even necessarily think some of the stuff that she said in that video was wrong, but I am addressing the fact of what I'm getting to now. So anyways, people will be disappointed that they clicked on a certain video and it did not satiate their intense desire for knowledge and wisdom and all of the intellectual requirements that their brain needs. Like, this video was just, it's not enough for me. It's not giving me what I need. My brother, you clicked on a video where the thumbnail looks like this and the title says this. Please explain to me why you thought you were gonna come out of that video being reborn as the newest Aristotle. Please explain it to me. It's like certain people will go to these places intentionally to have something to complain about, to be able to put themselves up on a high horse. There's no way that you can sit here and tell me that there aren't certain people on the internet making very detailed, intellectual, whatever you want that to mean, because even that phrase has become a buzzword now, but smart, detailed, analytical videos, there's plenty of them that exist on YouTube. You just keep seeing the ones that keep popping up on the front page because they're from big popular YouTubers, so of course that's all you're gonna keep getting. You have full power to find what you want. If you think all videos are the same, find a different video essayist. Find smaller creators who make different content. A lot of times, like I said, YouTube is pushing the bigger creators because they have more of a platform and a following. So it's easier for their videos to get recommended. But do you know how many smaller creators out there, with creators who are making very good points and very good arguments that get like maybe 1,000 views? There's so many times where I've stumbled across a video where somebody had brought up a really interesting point that I have not heard of before. Not to say they were the first to come up with it, but I definitely haven't heard of it before, at least not from the bigger YouTubers that I see. You can look for smaller channels like that. You can look for the specifics of the types of arguments that you want to hear. To me, it's kind of the same vibe of people who complain that like all music is the same now, it all sounds the same, music was so much better in the past, and then they only get their music recs from the Billboard Hot 100. That was your first mistake. Be intentional about what you want and use your interest to help you get there. If you like, I don't know, Star Wars, and you want Star Wars content, find people making analyses or conspiracies about it. Actually search it up, like use the search bar. If you like vlogs, vlogs, search up vlogs from creators with like 100 subs. I'm telling you, some of the most unique content, if that's really what you're thirsting for, some of the most unique content, for me at least in my experience, has come from creators that have like 100 subscribers and 10 views on their video. And then go down a rabbit hole. That is one of the best ways to find new stuff that you'll be interested in and to curate your feed. And I'm saying all of this from experience. So as a personal example, I remember I opened up my YouTube one day, and like many people, I was a little bit bored. I was like, front page is looking a little bit of the same that I watched. Not that I don't like it anymore. I will definitely watch in the future, but that day I just wasn't feeling it. So I went to the normal gamers that I watch, and on the recommended side of the page, I went down a rabbit hole of different gamers. I found this new creator named Shonix. She's a black female gamer, which I'm only just now realizing how like rare that is. Like I'm just now realizing of how little I see female black creators who are gamers. So that was interesting. But I've been watching her consistently. I really enjoy her videos. And I found another gamer very recently called Yo-Yo-EXE. He also makes very fun gaming content. I like his personality. He has this unique style where he'll throw in little sections of animations and music that he creates himself. So boom, I just found 2 new gamers that I like to watch now. One day I saw a random like mini horror film pop up on my YouTube page and I watched it. I loved it so much that I actually want to make an entire analysis of the film on my channel, and I'm working on it. I just have to rewatch it and write the notes down and everything like that. But it was so good. Then I went down a rabbit hole watching more indie short horror films made by channels I've never heard before. Some channels aren't even that big. Somebody ended up making one of Buckshot Roulette too. It's a really fun game, and somebody made a short film replicating it, and it was phenomenal. I love Buckshot Roulette. The game is very fun. There's that one random dude that made like an entire, I think, hour-plus long video about a conspiracy theory about SpongeBob and why certain fish under the sea wear other people's skin. I don't know if any of you know what video I'm talking about, but it got very popular. Like it has a lot of views. That video, just watch that for fun, completely random. And that was his only video too. He just had this idea. He had to get it out on YouTube and then dipped. Just dropped a banger and left. There was this one random Japanese music video by an artist I'm not familiar with, but the music video concept was so cool. I don't even remember what the music sounded like because I was so fascinated by the music video concept. I haven't watched a music video that like maybe that intrigued in a while. I found another small creator who makes vlogs. I don't even watch vlogs like that. But when she posts a video, I'm sad. She's funny, she's unhinged. I find myself being weirdly very comforted. Now I just love watching this random girl on the internet make random stuff about her life. And it's a change of pace from what I usually watch. So after all those examples, the point I'm trying to make is that there is too many videos, too many creators on this platform for you to sit here and tell me that everything is the same. Or at the very least, right? Because as I said before, they are going to be similar. Yes, a lot of people are just looking at what does well and copying that. So yes, you are going to have a lot of content that's the same, but you can't find one that you enjoy? The similarity is not the problem. The all videos are the same is not the problem. The problem is you're seeing all these videos that are the same that you don't like. If you find a genre of videos that you actually enjoy, you're not going to be complaining about that. You just have to intervene yourself and find this stuff. You can't wait for the algorithm to just spoon feed you all the videos that it thinks you're going to watch and then get mad when you don't want to watch it or because it didn't give you anything that was interesting to you. In this situation, I feel like people are complaining about something they have full control over. If you can intervene in the way that you receive content, then do that. And if it really has just gotten to a point where everything, I mean, there's just nothing on YouTube that you want to watch, there's nothing that interests you, you have such a niche interest that there's not a single person that likes it the way that you do, like YouTube is just completely cooked, the algorithm doesn't work, all these ads suck, they changed the like to a heart, everything else has just completely fed you up. I understand. I'm not saying that YouTube doesn't have its issues. As a creator and a watcher, trust me, I'm aware of a lot of them. The updates they've been making have been driving me crazy too. I was almost very tempted to make a video about it. But if it really is just unbearable for you to stay here, all power to you. Farewell. But all you can't leave. All of you, some of you need to stay. Okay, I gotta pay my bills. Okay, so oh yeah, I can't leave the platform. That's actually the whole point of this vid. The whole point of this video right now is actually not even to give you an analysis. It's just to secure my bag. I need to pay my bills. No, but all jokes aside, I understand that people can get very fed up with YouTube and its functions and other things about it. And for the millionth time, I'm not saying you can't critique the platform. Just because you can control your feed and your algorithm doesn't necessarily mean that you can't validly critique how the algorithm isn't working or doing its job well. But like I said, most of the time when people complain about it, it's coming from almost this place of arrogance. Like everything isn't good enough for me on here. I'm just too smart for this platform where everybody else makes low level, surface level content. Again, you can critique the algorithm, but you have to remember the algorithm is working everything based on your own actions. So even if it doesn't work well, and that is something that YouTube needs to fix, at the end of the day, you still can intervene. You still can, like I was telling you, to manually go into the search box and find something you want to watch, or go down a rabbit hole and find other things you want to watch. Personally, I think it's better that you train yourself to be able to do that instead of always relying on the algorithm to do the work for you. Being more conscious and intentional with your decisions, because you can also kind of apply that to different parts of your life as well, rather than mindlessly consuming all the time. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased, okay? Maybe this really is just a case of I obviously make content on YouTube and I feel offended, so now I need to talk about this, because no doubt I'll have people saying that that's what I am and what the point of this video is. So whatever, I'm not gonna beat the allegations at this point, but that's just something I've been noticing. I'm noticing people complain about it, and I just feel like this is one of the most simple fixes in like the history of forever. I just feel like we can control the content that we want to view, like as long as we're intentional about it, instead of waiting for it to come to us. Anyways, that's all I want to talk about today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as per usual, I will see you in the next video.